So we can go right into it if you.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
do it.
But I'm sorry, I forgot to ask. Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Like a stranger and stuff
I
like
know,
that.
right?
I saw the look. She was like, "You got 5 seconds before I see."
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Right? Very weird.
T3 Media.
Through the media.
Your podcast is all about exploring different fandoms without the pressures of being an expert. So, what's a fandom or a topic that you were initially intimidated by, but ended up absolutely loving once you casually explored it?
Ooh. I think for me, the one that I got obsessed with was Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
I got super obsessed with it because Holly sold me on that so hard. And anime sometimes can be something tricky to jump into. And I say that as somebody who's voiced anime, sometimes the community can be very like, you're not even pronouncing the names right. And I'm like, I grew up in Texas and I'm trying my best. like I'm fighting for my life here. But that one, and then all the reality TV stuff. That really daunted me.
I feel like we always talk about the Vanderpump Rules episode as maybe not an intimidating fandom, but certainly something that both of us kind of were just going, I don't even know if I'm interested in this, right? Like, I don't know. I'm coming into this just really going, okay, I guess sell me on why I should be interested. And by the end, our guest on that, Tiffany, was amazing. And by the end, we were both just like, no, it's Scandival. No, yeah.
The lightning bolt necklace? How dare.
Yeah, we were hooked. But any of the comic stuff, I think is something I come in with because there's so much there, right? Of like, I've seen a lot of the Marvel movies and stuff, but I didn't grow up reading comics. So sometimes with these characters, you're coming in going, oh, there's 50, 60, 70 plus years of media here, of content here. So I'm always really thankful. Like when you break that stuff down, you're always so good at sort of getting to, here's what you need to know, and here's compare it to something I would know, and you break it down for my little brain that is not always good with that stuff, but it's always really interesting.
I feel that way with you in horror because I also I'm trying to not judge it because I'm so scared. I'm so scared of it, and you do a really good job of explaining why it could be interesting, why someone could enjoy it, and here's what objectively is good about it too.
And I mean, with horror, I feel like to me that's an easier genre because it's like, well, okay, is it the one where the guy shows up with a big knife and stabs some horny teens, or the one where the guy shows up with a big knife and stabs some horny teens in space? Like, you're fine, you'll get it.
We're all just like, we're just diving in together. Sometimes, maybe Amy's the expert on the subject, maybe Chris, you're the expert on it, but maybe both,
neither of us know anything.
Sometimes, sometimes we're both figuring it out together. Like I love the way that, like you said, Vanderpump Rules. You're like, that pearl clutching. No. So, I love
but it definitely runs the gamut when we have especially when we have guests on and they're bringing in what they love. It really runs that gamut from where you're spending the whole episode going, yes, and this, and the ones where you're just going, I'm sorry, you said a lot of words there, and none of them were in the Bible.
None of it landed.
Like, what were those? Yeah.
Can I tell you something really embarrassing?
Oh, always.
I said run the gambit for like years.
I almost
did
did
it.
I saw the hesitation. I was like, no, I genuinely thought that it was until like, babe, that's an X-Men. That is.
I've just said gambit into this microphone so much more than I've said. My mouth auto completed.
I've just said it with a lot of confidence for years, and then it was, are you talking about the X-Men? Or are you talking? I was like, maybe I'm talking about the X-Men. I don't know.
Run that gambit.
You got to run that gambit.
I'm literally right there with you. I was like, I'm about to correct her. You know what, Chris? Nope, shut up, because I know I'm wrong.
So, you mean run the gambit?
I was gonna run the gambit. Like, no, did she just mispronounce gambit? No, Chris. Per usual. What's a filthy casual pleasure or interest that you were once too embarrassed to admit that you loved, but now you're like loud and proud about?
I want to know yours.
I think mine, probably Jimmy Buffett, which I did do a whole episode on him and his music and the lifestyle, all of it. But I think that was one.
You were embarrassed about Jimmy Buffett?
Not coming in and doing an episode about it, but I would say that's one of my, I think I did hit a point in my life where I realized, like, having like a guilty pleasure is stupid. Just like the
Yeah.
things you like life is too short to care if it's cool to like this thing. And I think that was one for me that took a minute to just go, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay that my taste in music is giving 50-something-year-old divorced dad.
It's like the first things we found out we had in common.
It's totally acceptable and fine.
Yeah.
So I think theme parks to some degree is something I always really get excited when I get to bring up. And that's another one where I think just the stigma of like, oh, are you a Disney adult? And it's just like, no, I just enjoy this thing and that's fine and cool. And then getting to share that, and realizing other people I think are cool, either like hearing me ramble about this or share that interest with me. It helps it feel like a safer space to just like what you like. Because again, life's too short.
It's too short.
I wanna listen to Margaritaville and ride a roller coaster, ideally at the same time.
Oh, the dream.
Dream day.
Yeah. Well, and Michael Ian Black says that the only guilty pleasure is murder. So you can do anything that's not that and be fine.
You should feel a little bad about murder.
You should feel pretty bad about that one.
Just a smidge.
A tiny bit. We're in a society. I don't know. For me, I mean, the past 15 years of my career have been about being a huge freaking dork.
Yeah.
And celebrating what I love, but sometimes being corrected by the internet because they're not a fun space sometimes. And to be fair, I should be corrected when I get things wrong. But when you're like wrong about your opinion, that's a whole other thing. But growing up, in the South in the early 2000s, it was very not cool to like comics. It was very not cool to like manga and anime. And so that was kind of my closeted nerddom pre-college. And then once I was in college, then everyone was reading graphic novels and I went and did a Disney internship and I had access to this huge comic book store and everyone loved that stuff. And I went, oh, it was just my town that made me feel silly.
Yeah.
Right.
The world at large does like this kind of stuff. And now most people do like it.
You feel on the outs if you don't know anything about it. Yeah.
It's been a very weird switcheroo because now it's so ingrained in the zeitgeist that it is like, oh, you don't know about this comic book? And that's kind of part of why the podcast happened was, oh, it's kind of gross that we now have that shift of, what do you mean you don't know who the Silver Surfer is?
Yeah. Still don't. You've explained it to me 3 times.
You don't need to know.
It's not sticking. It's not sticking.
Yeah.
But I think on just what you were saying about like getting stuff wrong, I think a big point of the podcast is not, oh, just say whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you get your facts right. But it's if I get something wrong, that doesn't mean I'm not qualified to call myself a fan or love it or have opinions on the topic. And I think that's the mentality of the internet that can be hard. Of it's not just, oh, I think you misspoke. It was actually this character, not that character.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's this dizzy broad doesn't know what she's talking about. It's like a media and censoring usually. Dizzy and broad are less kind words.
Yeah.
And less like you're about to rob a bank and open a speakeasy. But generally speaking, it's that immediately jumping to, you don't know what you're talking about. How dare you, get their names out of your mouth if you get something wrong. And it's just that it's okay. We're all human. We all have lives and jobs and things, and just because you might not have every fact memorized or might misspeak or have something incorrect in your head doesn't mean you're not qualified to call yourself a fan of the topic.
And some of us have Southern accents come out. So I might say, I love Tanjiro. And someone's going to be like, you absolute pleb.
Like, she doesn't know the name of the Silver Surfer. Cast her out. No.
Exactly. That's a lot of the mentality.
People keep getting in the comments and telling me all the other silver characters. And I'm like, blocked, reported. I don't want to know.
She doesn't have time.
I have other things I am doing.
I do
That's
not
great.
have the Marvel bandwidth for this.
I truly don't.
No.
No, now you just encourage me to write that remake of Revenge of the Nerds, where the jocks are they just switch it up. Yeah. The nerds were the bullies. Yeah. Amy.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
Yep.
We've had a chance to work together here at T3 Media Studios. And Kris, I've been a follower of yours for years now. It's great to see your new venture with each other, but what's the most surprising thing that you've learned about each other, podcasting, and what you've learned about other casuals since you've started your podcast?
Most surprising thing.
I definitely didn't know how much you knew about theme parks, like fandom wise.
I try to keep that on the down.
I definitely didn't. And then it was like, you're like a wizard. You're like a little engineer. You're a what? How do you know the mechanics of this? Which is very, very cool. I think it's just been more so of learning, one, how you know a little bit about a lot. Like you have a very like broad education of fandoms, movies, etc.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel very like, I know these things and I know them real hard.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I don't know. I knew you were fun to work with, but I think because we get to do whatever we want now and we're not supervised, it is tremendously more fun and more creative and more freeing.
Yeah.
And I knew it would be, but I think, and we've talked about this, there is that always kind of fear of, hey, am I about to ruin a friendship by doing a project with somebody? Like, are we going to find out we don't work well together? Are we going to find out that we hate speaking to each other this much?
Well, or even, I mean, you think about like, you know, even just like living with someone or starting a project, like there's so many things where it's like or traveling with someone, right? There's so many ways that like being friends with someone does not always translate. Yeah. Right? Of like, you can be, I always use the example of like, I know tragically to my brain, the Mythbusters guys are like, we're not friends. We just work together great.
Yeah. I barely know that guy.
Yeah. So you never know if it's that like, is being friends with someone going to translate well to being collaborators with someone? And I have like dear friends I collaborate great with and dear friends where it's like, oh, we just don't like work together a lot because I just don't know how much we mesh in that way. Yeah. And yeah, definitely. I think I get what you're saying just in that like, I don't mean to be like, oh my God, it's perfect. But like, we have not had a speed bump really in like the almost 2 years we've been doing this. Yeah.
We're such a happy couple.
We're such a happy couple.
Oh my God.
Well, and I do that. I was going to say, I think one thing, not to dig into like anything crazy deep, but it's just like genuinely how like level your brain is. Oh. Like I was just trying to explain to someone, I was like, well, I feel like truly genuinely like about a third of the people I know have ADHD. Oh, yeah. About a third of people I know, I think, are realizing that they're somewhere on the autism spectrum. Yeah. About a third of the people I know have like some combination of depression and or anxiety. And then there's Kris Carr, who just like, if Kris is like asking for something, it's not, it's like if Kris is like, hey, I need you to leave. It's like, you're not in trouble. She's just tired. Yeah. Like if Kris is like, yeah, no problem. There's no secret feeling she has underneath the surface. It's like, you say exactly what you mean. You're not double analyzing things.
There's just not enough room for me in my brain. It's just that La Quinta music playing in here. Just la la da 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 da. Yeah.
So I'd say with Kris, that's been most surprising. And then just, I don't know, with having friends, and I've had many people on the podcast who I've been friends with for a decade plus, you know the things your friends like. Mm-hmm. But when you really give them, like, you have basically an unsupervised hour to just tell me about it, you do see a side of people. And I would say even like an eloquence and a depth to people where it's like, oh, I've known you since we were teenagers and I've just like never seen you, because you talk, but you never want to like let loose on someone like that.
You don't want to spend an hour talking about your favorite thing.
Yeah. So you do just see a side of some of your friends and some of your like, you know, colleagues and stuff that's just like, I didn't know you had that in you. And it's so fun to watch.
Mia Topalian really said that well on her episode about Veronica Mars too. Of just like the most beautiful, hot thing about a person is the moment they talk about the thing they love most and you see them light up.
Yeah.
And it's true.
100%.
Yeah.
It's very sexy up in here.
It is. Also, it's very surprising how many of our friends do worry that they're not going to be enough of a fan.
Oh my God, constantly.
That's a huge one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We get so much, well, I like this, but I don't know. And then they come in and we have to like start wrapping them up at like a minute 20 or an hour 20. Like, that's great, babe. You really do know enough.
Yeah. It's super fun seeing how everyone's brains work too, because there's the note takers.
Yep.
And then there's the people who want to pontificate.
Yep.
And each do a beautiful job, but you'll have people who have like their bullet points and know exactly what they want to do and have beautiful segues and keep us on track, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
Because we don't always do a great job of that. We go off the rails a little bit. Or there's people who are just like, you know, oh yeah, let's talk about this. And we will take a side quest. And oh, I want to talk about that. Next time I'm here, I should do this episode.
Yeah.
It's real fun.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. And I don't know why, just now I feel like for the years that I've known Amy, I'm like I think I owe her a lot of apologies because I almost started this conversation with a little bit of an inside joke that she taught me about what was it a tight 30. Every time I say it's going to be a tight 30, I prompt, and what happened? Each and every time. Fly past it, and so I owe you probably like 1,000
No,
apologies.
you're look, brevity is none of our strong suit, and that's fine. That's fine.
But I learned the definition of the tight 30. So there you go.
We'd be TikTokers if we were better at that.
That app confuses the hell out of me. I feel so old.
The name Two Filthy Casuals is fantastic, outstanding. My wife immediately thought of Home Alone, and I'll admit that my mind went into a different direction. Let's just say that. We're all adults here, adulting, and we're total casuals. Keep it cash. Just keeping it cash, right? What's the most surprising or unexpected way like that a fan has misinterpreted the name Two Filthy Casuals?
The one I'll say, I don't know if I've had anybody individually like not get it.
Mm-hmm.
At least that they've told me. I don't know what people are, what you're doing. I don't know.
So I'm the only one that admits it, that I'm.
Yeah. When we first started, though, I think our Instagram account immediately got flagged for like, well, we're gonna have to take a second look at what you're doing over here.
Yeah. Which I was immediately confused of like, why would they do that? Why would they stop us? Filthy casuals is a part of the lexicon.
They think we're gonna be in people's DMs like,
hey,
I'm
looking for a sugar daddy.
What is that saying? It depends on what your definition of is. Like
Exactly. We got very Clinton administrated with all of this.
So I think that was the big one of I think we may have just lost some privileges on YouTube. They may be like, we gotta check in on what you're doing.
Yeah. Most people got it immediately. Mm-hmm. Some people thought that it was going to be like a spin-off show of some other things or stuff like that. But for the most part, I think it was, you guys are going to just be fandom noobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Is kind of what we hoped people would think of it too. And also, we're both a little blue in our comedic sensibilities.
Sure. And yeah, I do think that was part of the decision to stick with that name of like, I am comfortable with, the way we... Yeah, our comedic sensibilities is a good way to put it. Of like, I think that's good that captures the tone of where we tend to skew in our comedy.
Just because I wish I do Harloff's podcast, and he does Capes and Cows, which is very family friendly, and I don't do that one that often because I'm not always family friendly. I think it's a good kind of immediate. This maybe is one you don't listen to with your kids.
Yeah,
we also market as explicit content, so hopefully people get that. But yeah, and also it's just, I don't know if you've had this happen. I've had people refer to me as a filthy casual, particularly in YouTube videos when I used to do breakdowns of like Steven Universe or comics or something, where it'd be, you're such a filthy casual, you're such a normie, you don't really get this. Okay, well, I like it enough to have made a 30-minute video about it, so we can have a conversation as opposed to just a dismissal.
I've had lots of people, yes, but leave off the casual part. So I don't know, do it that way you will.
They're just so filthy.
So filthy.
My wife was the one that was disappointed. So wait, so they don't sign off by saying, keep the change, you're filthy. I'm like, no, it's not about Home Alone. I mean, I guess an episode could be, but I mean.
I would love a podcast that is always about Home Alone. That's incredible.
Love to Home Alone watch.
I don't know if
I think there's like 7 of them though. So yeah.
7 Home Alone movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot. Oh, are we gonna fall down a new rabbit hole?
I don't know. The 4 Jaws films almost took me out, so I think I'm good for a minute.
The remakes and whatnot. Yeah, it's gotten up there. You both do a great job at breaking down complex topics for your audience. If you had the chance to create a filthy casual starter pack for like someone that's new to your podcast, 3 episodes that you would include in that starter pack, and why?
For sure, Vanderpump Rules.
Yes.
For everything you brought up.
Yeah. I think the epitome of this is not, I think this podcast can work on 2 levels, and I think that was always our goal. of it can be as a listener, it can be in the same way we come at it as hosts. This can either feel like a celebration of something we already love and are excited to get to share with a guest or amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
It can also be a really fun, like, I don't even understand why people like this thing. And getting that inside look of, oh, it might not be for me, but now I kind of have a grasp of what it is and why people like it. So yeah, I would say I would agree Vanderpump for sure.
Vanderpump is a great one. It's a longer episode, but I think it is our most unhinged. And we're about to dive back into it today, is our Death Stranding episode.
Yeah.
Because our brains melt.
Yep.
Getting this game explained to us. And it's also just so funny. Like, Rich kills it on that one.
I would maybe recommend one of the ones where you're explaining comic book stuff to me. Because I think, again, for me, that is one of the more intimidating fandoms if you are not into it. So I think that's a cool way to kind of understand, like, the vibe and the tone and the general thesis of what this podcast is about. But that said, that list comes with about 30 honorable mentions.
I was going to say, Blue Samurai with Tanya LaHoo, who talks to you not only about it as a fan, but as an artist herself.
Oh, yeah, Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Yeah, Blue-Eyed Samurai, thank you. Reservation Dogs with Autumn Silvis, where we're not only getting why somebody loves this show, but an Indigenous person's perspective on that show. Amanda Noriko Newman breaking down Avatar The Last Airbender is freaking killer. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
Our friends are just really cool.
We
and
like
smart.
them a lot. We like them a lot. So yeah, I would say if you haven't listened and you're checking it out, any of those are a great place to start. Also, like, dive into one that's something you love. Dive into one that's something you've never heard of, and I think that gives you a pretty good smorgasbord.
Yeah.
So
we want more people to listen to the stuff that they're unaware of. Because that's the whole point is, hey, challenge yourself by listening to something that you have no idea what fandom is. Treat this podcast like how my Aunt Barbara treats my acting career. I have no idea what that is, but I'm so happy for you and I'll check it out. That's the whole thing.
I wrote down the three that, Vanderpump Rules, Death Stranding, and Reservation Dogs. I have not watched, so.
Autumn does a great job.
That's a great episode.
Yeah.
Should I watch it first, then watch those episodes?
You can go either way. And I will say we try very hard. We have our lovely spoiler banjo to warn you. If you're trying out something new and you're worried about spoilers, we do try pretty hard to make it at least as much as we can a beginner, a I've never seen this guide. Yeah. And then we do try to warn if we're getting into something where it's like, hey, if you think you're going to watch this, maybe go do so and then wrap this up.
Huge spoilers, like major things. I put a timestamp usually too on the Spotify of, hey, from here to here, we completely ruin what happens in the show.
So I think either option, there's no right or wrong way.
No.
And I think that's the whole point of the podcast in regards to fandom and the podcast in regards to the podcast. Look, if you just want to go through and listen to all the Marvel ones because that's your thing,
hell yeah.
I'm also not here to tell you there's no wrong way to be a fan, and that includes being a fan of our humble.
No yucking of the yum, right?
We're not yucking yum.
Yucking of any
if it
yum.
fruits your loops, I love it.
Yeah,
If
whatever
it fruits
cooks your
your
bacon.
Yeah. You see, Vanderpump Rules, Death Stranding, and Reservation Dog. I will be checking that out. I had one bonus question, if you don't mind. I don't.
Please.
Bonus round. What's a niche or obscure passion that you'd love to dedicate an entire episode of Two Filthy Casuals to? And who would your dream guest for that topic be?
I want to turn it back around to you then afterwards and find out what your topic would be.
Yes.
Ooh.
But I think I know what yours would be.
Yeah.
I think you would want to have that incredible Imagineer who you love.
Oh, yeah. If I could get anyone, I would get Joe Rohde.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Because I was like, the man who has a name affiliated with a band. Because I went Rohde.
I was also going to go Kevin Perjurer from Defunct Land was my first instinct.
That's a
just
good
to discuss like his favorite, like, I would say, yes, Joe Rohde. And like at that point, please just talk at me about your brilliance in creating narrative within theme parks, storytelling within theme parks. Beyond that, Kevin Perjurer, who runs the incredible YouTube channel Defunct Land that covers defunct theme park attractions, I know is a massive, massive Epcot fan. So I'd probably have him on and just let him talk about like his favorite era or attraction of Epcot days.
Ooh, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. We've technically already talked about mine, but I'm obviously obsessed with the Muppets. It's like big part of my personality.
Yeah.
I would genuinely love to have just Brett Goldstein on to discuss When Love Is Gone and its importance, and only that. I want to just talk about that song, how it's bullshit. It's sorry for that. It's nonsense that it was cut out of the film because it makes narrative sense.
Yep.
Brian Henson was furious. He was promised that it was going to be in the film, and then they switcherooed on him and everything. So I would love to just spend time talking to another Muppet-obsessed person about that. Or I would love to do some kind of food-related thing with like the Sorted Boys. I love Sorted YouTube. It's so good.
Oh, let's go for me, I guess.
For me,
I guess it's out of one of two. Lately, we've been obsessed with The Fifth Element, so I'm always cosplaying as Ruby Rod when we go out to conventions, and of course, stealing the spotlight from everyone. So I would love to anyone from the film, whether it's I don't know Chris Tucker or the directors or anybody from the development of production of that film. We've just become so obsessed with that film lately. Either that or the guy who probably is the reason why I'm even doing this, Kevin Smith, and just to talk about the one scene in Clerks that made me obsessed with the number 37. I would probably just talk to him over and over and over again about that one scene and how it's changed. The number 37 has changed my life, you know. But I love Kevin Smith movies, and he would be the dream person that I'd love to have a conversation with.
Oh, that's a great one. Oh, I thought of another one. Ben Schwartz for Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be real fun. But also then I'd have to just be like, I got a really big crush on you. You're so talented. Okay, bye.
David Harbour, what do you like?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm not
true.
picky.
That's true.
Well, it was what the character who played was it Chuck Berry's cousin or something, Marvin Berry? It was it. I remember we saw him recently here in Houston in the Comic Palooza. No one knew he was going to do this. They were doing what was the theme of the prom in Back to the Future?
Oh, like Under the Sea.
Yeah, they did that not in the convention that we were at, but in a bar was doing it. And then he showed up and sung Earth Angel to the they didn't even know he was going to show up. It was like, oh, they were like best $15 I spent ever, like kind of a thing. So yeah.
That's great. $15. It's amazing.
Got a live show of Chuck Berry's cousin.
That's the best. Damn.
I don't know. That just randomly popped in my head. But all right, guys, that is a wrap. Amy, Chris, thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe, leave reviews, and follow them both on their social media platforms. If people want to find you, where can they do so?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're Two Filthy Casuals. You can also find us on YouTube. So that's YouTube, Two Filthy Casuals Pod is basically where we're going to be on all the things. We're on social media, Two Filthy Casuals Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and patreon.com/Two Filthy Casuals Pod for bonus episodes.
Yeah. Those are all the things.
Did I do it?
You did it.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'll let you get back to it. I don't want to take up too much time, but I love this. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys again.
Bye.
Hey, Amy, you got the number.
I got it.
Later, guys. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.